Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching Glenda's Dragon's Den. I want to thank everyone that watches me, whether you watch us live or you watch us later in recording, and of course, liking, sharing, commenting, and emailing me, sending me your feedback. I love to read everyone, and I personally am the one who responds to all my messages and emails, so you never have to worry about anybody else reading anything. So I just want to say how blessed I am, how grateful I am that you're always here every single week, and just being a trooper. No matter what I bring or who I bring, you're always here for me. So tonight we have a phenomenal guest. She is really connected to her team. Just want to say that out there. So whatever comes out of her, take it, run with it, let it resonate. If it doesn't resonate, it's not for you. But pay attention because you never know what will be said that is the answer to what you were looking for. I don't even know what to say here. You are so good at everything. So, Tina Slade, how are you?
I'm super good. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for the opportunity of coming and speaking about my work and my connections. And as you said, one of the things I always say is if it resonates with you, hold it. If it
Hmm.
doesn't, let it pass you by. It's just how it is meant to be.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I love talking to you.
Oh, we had such a lovely time when we were speaking before. So,
Yeah.
and one of the things with me is I will talk for England. I will talk about my work. I will talk about all different things involved with my work. So for me, it's just an opportunity to just share. One of the things that I would say is that the work that I do, and I will explain it, is that I am no different from anyone else who's walking this earth. I just dropped into this dimension with my full remembrance. And the reason I have that is because I am here to awaken those ready to awaken from their starseed being into their truth. And the way that I do that is to be able to connect to my multidimensional self and to connect to all of the gifts that everyone has within their blueprint. So I'm just checking in. So I'm just checking in with my team as to where we go, where we start. We've got so much to cover. So first of all, just let me say I'm going to be working with my light language. My light language is my connection to my multidimensional self. I will translate it. If there's any light language transmissions that come through that I don't translate, I'm just going to ask you to receive it in your heart. It comes with heart blessings. It comes with heart love and just feeling from the energy of those who will be listening, a lot of people are in the need of love at this point in time. A lot of people, okay, we're going with a tangent. I don't control this, I'm a channelist. So a lot of people are very much feeling separation from the light, Kiedescan, Skatora, Katusa, Emakara, and a lot of people are very disillusioned with what's happening in the world at this point in time. So Kiedeska, Dise, Satora, Katora, what we want to say to you, and I will tell you about me and my gifts and all of those sort of things, but I'm going to run with my team because they've all come forward. And in fact, I have quite a lot of your team with me as well, which is really exciting. And I have your dragons, which is beautiful because they can play with my dragons too.
Yes.
So that are you connected to Archangel Gabriel and Michael? Yeah, okay, thank you. Well, that's why I have those with me as well. So they are welcome to come in, Kiadeska Satoris. And they do say, oh, do you know, Glenda, I'm just going to go wherever. I'm going to be all over the place. I can have a real ADHD spiritual moment here. So
Go
Kiadeska
for it.
Satoris coming in with a message for you, Sakura Miniska and Akara. They're saying to me that this year is a time for you to use your voice to find your truth. Kiadeska Dora Miniska. It's a time for you to break out everything you've done in the past and set on a new pathway. You're going to be taken on a new pathway, connecting up with the Arcturians. There's going to be a beautiful connection there for you. And they're asking you to Okay, so they put you, I'm very visual, that's how I work. So they give
Good.
me the image, they give me the words, and then I can translate it to you. And it's important because the image they're giving me is they're giving you in a sailboat. The sail is up and they're saying, just let the wind take you where it needs to go. One of the things for you is you like to control things. Blown out of the water this year, sister. It's going to be blown out of the water. So no more controlling for you. Asking you very much to listen to Archangel Gabriel. He's going to come with some very specific new codes for you, new intelligence for you. And they're asking you to be aware and be prepared for when that information comes through. It will come through in dream state, but it will also come through in conscious state for you as well. Okay,
Thank you.
okay, so they just brought a huge tiger in, and I'm going to say to you, they're asking you to find the tiger within, the courage, the strength. Yeah, because I feel very much the fire element coming in for you. Kiedeska, Santora, Skatura, Miniska, Anakara. And then they've given you a wand, they're giving you a magician's wand, they're placing it in your hand, and they're saying, create your magic.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much. So then I've got to try and get back on track as to where I'm at. So, okay, thank you. So I work with Oracle. So I channel Oracle with wisdom. I actually go into trance channeling. And Oracle is an aspect, is my future self, who was the self that agreed to come back to Earth. So I'm just going to check in with oracles. I want to go back. We're taking back to the beginning of the conversation we had about those who are listening, who are feeling the pain of separation. There's a little loneliness with the listeners who are tuning in and will be tuning in, because remember, there is no time and space. This is current and it's actually already taken place. It's emergence of that quantum time lag. So what I'm just asking, why do I need that information? Because the people who are listening are going to be called to dive into the heart space. So what's going to be important in these next 4 months is that they start working in the heart space, because the heart will open up the throat. And I'm being told for the listeners that this is going to be a time where, thank you, I'm asking them to bring more information through. This is going to be a time when all of the listeners are going to be asked to find their voice in whatever way that's relevant for them. It might be through work, it might be through family, and it might be through partners. But absolutely, what will be shining through, and they're giving me through the Stargate system of Aquarius, is that they will be called to step into the truth of their voice and the wisdom that they have brought forward. Kiedeska, Santora, Skatora. Many of the listeners will be brought online. When I say brought online, they're going to be receiving quantum-led activations. These will usually come in dream state, but not necessarily. They can also come during the day. They can be whenever there is a moment of, it's like there's a moment of time, so they just drop a whole download in. But there will be great expansion for, there's a group of people listening who will be on an accelerated journey. And when we say accelerated journey, it's like their light language will come in, which is probably why they're asking about the voice. And once they're connected to their heart, they will be able to connect into their own Akasha. So their Akashic records are held within our own blueprint. Many times we're told that you need to have a prayer to go into an Akashic library, and you have to go off into this unknown place. Well, from the work that I've shown and the work I remember, every part of our Akashic record is held within our blueprint. It's held within. And when I talk about blueprint, and I'm going to talk very quickly while I'm working with you, only because I have so much information coming through. So I always see it like a motherboard. I always see it like a motherboard that holds all of our own intelligence through time, space, through past, present, and future. And in that motherboard will be what we call Akashic records. as humans, we always want to conceptualize everything, to give it a label, to make it simple. The Akashic records are frequency and energy. There isn't like a library that we see in our head of like rows and rows of shelves of books. The Akashic record is a frequency that's within us that will be able to be tapped into when we reach heart coherence. So there is a small group of people that I'm being shown from the audience who will be understanding that they will be connecting to their own Akasha through their heart, Kiedeska, Santora, Scatora, Meniska, and okay, thank you. What I'm being asked to share with you is to trust. This is really important, not only for those small band of viewers who are going to be on this accelerated journey, but also for the others. And it's not to say that one is better than the other. It's simply that in our timeline, we have all created what I call a conjuncture. And a conjuncture is when we hit the timeline, that's when we start to awaken. That's when we get this gift. That's when we get that gift. So it's just that some of the audience will have reached that conjuncture point and everything's triggered, and others are working up into those points. So it's not that one is better than the other, it's just that one has reached that timeline where they've said, okay, I'm going to switch it on. Okay, so Kiedeska Santora Scultura Miniki Sekai. Going back to what my team have said, is that, and bear in mind, I'm actually working with many of the, I don't call them spirit guides, I call them aspects of their consciousness who are guiding them through this timeline of the audience. So I've got the audience's team with me as well. So they're saying the biggest thing that we want to convey to you is to trust. Trust the process. Trust yourself, trust your remembrance, your innate ability to see what is truth and what is not. Trust is going to be really important this year as well, because there's going to be a lot of, give me the words, please. There will continue to be a lot of chaos on Earth. And the chaos has to happen because we have to break through the inversion. I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to talk about what inversion is. Earth, we sit on Earth in a simulation. We sit within what we call the matrix. And the matrix is, so you have Gaia, you have Earth as its pulsating consciousness. Earth has already ascended through the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimension. And the reason that we are here, those of us who are light bearers, way showers, is that we will not leave one soul behind. We have come back from the future and we are here to awaken those, so we just do not leave one soul behind. So when you have Earth, you have Gaia. Over Gaia, we have inversion because we have duality. So when Source split from itself, it created duality to understand its undershadow, its belly. So we have multiple grids of matrix inversion, which is all the darkness that we're going through at the moment. It's all the fear, the separation. It's all the chaos that's happening, because we are desperately trying to break free of those matrix simulated codes. And these are projected from various points around the universe, and they are affecting the grids of the masculine and the feminine. So what will happen at the moment, you will see the feminine soul being suppressed and the masculine within the feminine becoming more switched on. They're just giving me a dial, they're switching it up, because in order to go through the chaos, we can't be within our divine feminine womb because we just will not survive. And so we're going to see a lot where the divine feminine separates from her soft self and comes into the masculine. And we're going to see a lot where the masculine just embodies the masculine. And the reason why we're asking those to trust in the process is we allow that to happen out in the peripheral vision of our energy systems. And we concentrate on balancing our yin and our yang, of coming into our truth, of being in the heart, because the heart space will always be the place of unconditional love, unconditional compassion, and unconditional forgiveness. So with those three keys for soul evolution, we will be able to ascend, we'll be able to expand, we'll be able to connect into the multidimensional templates with wisdom and all the information we're looking for. But that's not going to happen unless we all get to a point where we become switched on, because outside in the chaos will absolutely continue to happen. So, for instance, what's happening in America is the fact that Donald Trump has come in to cause the chaos. Doesn't matter what we think about him as a man, what he's done as a man, his sole blueprint role is to come in and crack everything open. Whether we agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. He is the destructor. He is coming in to break down those matrix systems that are inverted in the earth. The same in England, we have the difference, we have the reverse. So we have with our Prime Minister, he is here to implant the inversion. So we've got the two different aspects, and definitely watch how that plays out in the next few months, because there's going to be real personality clashes here. So it's going to be a great time if you're into politics. I try and keep out of it, even though I absolutely love it. I try and keep out of it now because I can see what is happening in front of me. But we have to see that, because we're being asked, and this is a really great piece of information for all of the listeners and viewers, we are being asked to become observers, not to become the participant in what is happening in the world. Because when we participate, we lose the center track of our heart. When we observe without being pulled into that vortex, then we can hold our heart coherence, because it's the heart which will be, thank you, it's so beautiful, thank you so much. The heart will be the savior of earth. This will be the savior. Our heart, our ability to love unconditionally, to forgive unconditionally, to hold unconditional frequency of love will be how we ascend, and how those who are moving through the ascension program will get up into the 5th, 6th, 7th dimension. And just to say that, in fact, there are no 5th, 6th, 7th dimensions. Dimension, again, is all frequency, but as humans, we like to label it because then we can understand it, because we live within the logical left side of our brain. So, okay, so now I'm saying we're going to pause and step back for you to talk about who you are and why you're here, and then they will come back in as well. So thank you, team. So my name is Tina Slade. I am Tina Slade Expansion. I have had a very interesting life up until this point in time. And will you remind me, Glenda, because I will be off at tangents, when I'm finished doing this, I want to do an activation for throat clearance, because my throat feels completely shut, completely congested, and that is because I'm tuning into the listeners. So I am going to, when I say to you what I'm going to do, remind me to say throat and I'll clear. And it'll be really interesting for people to see how I work in the quantum field and how they can work in the field too. So I can remember before I came to Earth, I can remember being part of the Council of Highlight. And in fact, I can remember so many of my lifetimes on and off Earth. And I remember being asked to return to Earth. There was a big collaboration of multiple star races and planets. And I was asked to come back to Earth in order to awaken those ready to ignite their blueprints, their consciousness, step into their truth. And me, I don't know, I think it's a trait in this lifetime. I was like, yeah, I can do that. And actually, while I'm there going to do that for others, I might as well clear all my karma as well, because I'm not coming back. And I'd said that to you before we started, didn't I? I ain't coming back here. I'm done with all this. I'm done with all this. So anyway, that's what I did. I dropped down. I dropped into a very dysfunctional family, very challenging family. I always felt, and this is something that your viewers and listeners will probably feel, I always felt that I didn't belong on Earth. I have an absolute passion for Earth. I do a lot of work with Gaia. I do a lot of work healing sacred ley lines, walking the earth. I'm very much connected to the trees, the water element, all the elements of my dragons. So we do a lot of work with Gaia. That's one of the soul blueprints that I hold and why I'm here. I run a membership where we meet each month and we do the most phenomenal healing on earth. The next one's on Sunday and we're dealing with the celestial gateway. I mean, I cannot wait to work with all of those energies. And then we bring them into earth. We go into inner earth, connect to inner sun. Beautiful. So for me, I didn't feel connected to earth. I didn't feel connected to my family. I had a difficult childhood in the fact that school was difficult. I have no connection to numbers. I'm very dyslexic. And I couldn't ever understand why would I choose to come in without that connection. And then it was like, well, you don't need the earthbound connection to numbers because I work in the quantum field. I work with quantum key codes. I work with formulated physics codes, if people wanted to think of it that way. And so that was just like, I'm way past that. But I didn't understand, and it caused me a lot of problems. So I left education and started my career. And because of the dysfunctionality of my life, I really felt the need to prove myself. I felt the only way I could prove myself was to rise through my career, to work 5 times harder than anyone else. Anyone who is neurodivergent or anyone who has anything that makes them slightly different from mainstream education will understand how we have to work harder. As a woman, I had to really step into my masculine, and that's what I did. I worked in blue chip companies. I ran underperforming contact centers, and I hated every minute of it. But the more money I earned, the bigger company car I got, the more I felt validated, and I was very much in that cycle of proving myself.
Right.
Then I met my husband. We are very connected in past lifetimes. He isn't on the awakening journey, but he understands the connection we hold. And we started a family, and we just juggled every plate that could go along, you know, not having enough money, having
Mhm.
to survive in a world where I didn't belong, having to learn the lessons around betrayal, the lessons around overgiving, you know, all of those things about finding our self-worth. But to find your self-worth, you have to find how unworthy you are. Everything we go through on this journey, which just cripples us. I had a family, and you know, things just carried on. And that was how my life was very complicated. There was a lot of bereavement, a lot of arguing, and just very, very challenging until it got to a point where someone in my family became very, very ill in my inner family. And it was a really, really difficult time, many, many, many years of great fear. And through that fear, I became very ill. So I'm going to pause again there and just explain about illness. So our body was meant to vibrate at a frequency that allowed us to regenerate all the cells, everything in our body, and to stay completely well. When we have existed on other planets, we have always been able to heal ourselves, and we have always had opportunities of like healing vortexes and healing chambers to go in. So on Earth, we haven't connected that. We have disconnected from the truth. We've disconnected from the planet. That's part of the bigger matrix program that's running around separation. It's a part of the big world agenda about separating us from our intelligent self.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we become ill, every illness, without any shadow of a doubt, is always held because we have an emotional trauma or an emotional belief that's either come with us through past, present, or future lifetimes, or has been created by an experience we have had but have not had the heart sense to deal with. So every time someone says I have this illness, all I need to do is find out what the emotion is. I'll go back. I literally do this people can't see if they're listening, but I'm working with my fingers, and I will go back into whether it's this lifetime. If it is, I'll pinpoint the age. I'll then clear that for them, release that, and release that energy. Or if it's from past or present lifetimes, you will go back to those lifetimes. I'll explain what those lifetimes are, and we'll clear that field, we'll reset and reprogram. So I didn't know any of this information when I got to this stage where I became very ill. And it's interesting because I actually dropped into a family where I was a third generation psychic. So I always had the knowing. I always saw spirit. I always knew I didn't belong to Earth. I could see myself in the stars looking down upon Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And as I sort of started to get the pulling into this world, I became a Reiki master. I sat in circle to become a medium. I sat in circle to become a trance medium. I then became a tarot reader. So I did all of the obvious things through my psychic abilities. But when I became really ill, I just didn't understand it. And I had all of the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. And I also had the most horrendous stutter. My stutter was so bad because I couldn't speak my fear, I couldn't speak my pain and my heartache, and I kept it all held in my throat and in my heart, and I manifested all of these illnesses. And my paranervous system was just shot to pieces. I was just a hot mess. And it got to the point where actually I became so depressed. The depression had followed me a lot through my dysfunctional life, that everything came to a big head, and I left my home to end my life because I just couldn't see a way forward. There wasn't a way out of the pain in my family. There wasn't a way out of the pain in my heart. And I just wanted to go home. I was done. I was absolutely broken. And I went to the place where I was going to end my life, and my spirit team came forward and went, "It's not time. This is not the time for you to go." And I do believe, through what I've been shown, there are very many, we can plant exit points in our lifetime where we can make that decision and move out of the body, or we can stay. We have a pivotal point where we go, do I stay? Do I not stay? And I was very much reminded that I was here to get on with the work. And so a lot of synchronistic things happened, and my journey into this crazy world that I'm working now became the journey of my life. So basically what would happen is I'd go to bed and I would have star beings from all different races in my bedroom healing me. I would be literally levitating off of the bed. My poor husband, who was not into my world, just, love him. You gotta love him. Just was like, okay, I'm just going to let this happen. And so I started having visitations. I started being taken off into motherships. I started having the most phenomenal healing, and it wasn't from myself, it was external. And as the healing took place, I started to be able to tap into a much wider expansion of knowledge. So I would start, so when I look outside and I see the world, I see everything in grids. I see everything in light formation and frequency. And I started to be able to bring down these numbers, and I was like, I don't even know what these numbers are. And all of a sudden I'd be like 675 416 21212. And I had no idea. I just thought that, well, I just thought I was going crazy because numbers meant nothing to me. And then I started to be shown that these numbers are actually quantum key codes. That's what I call them. And these are able to either code into the matrix or to extract out the matrix. They can bring down new codes, overlaying them over the grids, and then I weave them in. So you can become an architect, a weaver, a coder, a creator. And I was activated in all four. So I started to be able to weave into my own blueprint, and I started to get well. I lost my tremor, I lost dragging my leg, I lost the fog and all of the strange things that I had manifested before because I simply couldn't cope and understand that at that point I had a nervous and physical breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to bring my key codes down. I started to be having conversations with different star races. And then I felt something in my throat. And the next thing, I'm speaking in this tongue. I'm speaking in a tongue that I don't understand. And I don't understand what it is because I've never heard of light language, Kiadasa, Saturis Katura Mahana Koya. And then I'm working in this way that I just couldn't understand. I'm being able to see, oh, I can come off planet. So I can go anywhere in the multiverse because I remember coding the grids of the multiverse with consciousness.
Mhm.
So it became a real rocket ship. 1 minute someone could say, oh, I can do this. And I'm like, oh, I could do this. I didn't even know I could do it. And synchronicities happened. I came in contact with someone who taught people how to use a quantum psionics board, which taught me about dimensions. It taught me about the ability to move through time and space. I was able to go into the future and put out lifetimes, into the past and put out lifetimes. And then that became it was just slowing me down because I was on the accelerated journey. And then, chance by no chance, Dolores Cannon came into my field, and I chose to become a QHHT practitioner, level 1, level 2. Dolores Cannon came and showed me how to do everything. But for me, it was too regimented. It just didn't fit my world because what I was doing in 8 hours, I could do in half an hour with my client face to face. And then I discovered that I can do this whole range of things and that I needed to actually call myself something, but I don't understand what I'm doing. So how can I call myself anything? And what was happening is that a lot of channelers will probably work with 10 planets that we know, Sirius, Arcturus, Andromeda, do. Well, I was taking my clients to every planet that's in the 7 multiverses. I was telling them, oh, we're going to Pyterus. And I was describing what that planet was. I was describing how they look within their star being body. I was describing what their gifts were and why they came back to Earth and what they needed to remember. And my work just grew and grew. And, people would come to me with conditions, or they would come to me with emotional entrapments, and I'd be able to run through their blueprint and tell them exactly what it is. I'd know everything about them. It's the most bizarre thing, because in my human form, I haven't got a clue about what I do. And yet in my multidimensional form, of course I know what I'm doing. I'm going into your consciousness, I'm unblocking you, I'm recoding you,
Right.
and you tap into your gifts. I'm a light language activator, so I activate light language in people who've never even heard what light language is. It is the most blessed feeling. And then, this is the bit that you and I will get very excited with. Then I started working with dragons.
Woo.
My dragons came home. And I cannot tell you the blissful state of being connected to dragons. I
Mhm.
remembered being a dragon. I remembered my life riding dragons. I then integrated Lytirius, who's my emerald green dragon, who actually activated within my full body. And when Lytirius came to me, I can see through dragon eyes.
Mhm.
I activate dragon bloodlines dormant in my clients. I bring their dragons back. I pull their dragon wings from out the sides of their spines, and I connect them into their dragon multidimensionality. The dragons for me are my passion. They are just, I work with a group of dragons. It's called a placard of dragons. I work with a placard of dragons. So I work with earth, air, fire, and water dragons. They all appear very different as well. So some dragons will be all in scale. Other dragons will be scale and feathers. Other dragons will be scale, feathers, and skin. It just depends. Some are very etheric. Archangel Michael has his own dragons.
Mhm.
So I know it's just so beautiful. So he has his own dragons. So that was just something that I would never have known. I'm literally obsessed with dragons. I just are. And yeah, Kiadora Katusa and Kocho and Terra Kakaya. They are the most blessed beings. They're the most blessed beings.
Yeah.
So I started working with dragons. I started channeling Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. I started working with the divine feminine around the sisterhoods. I connected very much into the Essenes. I would take my clients back into sacred ceremonies and rituals. When I work, I decided that the best way to explain it, because one of the things when I go out and people say to me, what do you do? It's always that question I hate, Glenda, and I don't know about you, because how do I explain what I do? Because I do everything. I'm a medium, I'm a psychic. I can read your energy, I can activate you in light language, I can take you back to all the past lifetimes that you hold within you that need to be released so you can become your greatest self. I can teach you how to code, I can bring in your codes for you. And so I thought, I'm going to have to explain to people, how do I say what I do? And my team just said, call yourself a multidimensional soul weaver. Because what I do is your lost aspects of your soul,
Mhm.
I will find them, retrieve them, weave them back and code them so that you become connected to your gifts and you become the greatest self that you can be. And that's what I do. And that's how I was taught that I needed to share this with the world. And it's beautiful because I've worked in 32 countries. I
Mhm.
don't advertise. People find me. I come into people's dreams, which I think is really weird, don't you? People have
Yeah.
messaged me and say, you came in my dream last night. I didn't even know who you were. And they gave me your name. And I'm like, yeah, no, sorry. That's how it happens. Or I'll flash up on their YouTube, or I don't know. It's just the most bizarre thing. But it's just the most humbling work. And it's the most beautiful work to allow people to understand that they are limitless. We are
Mhm.
not bound by any rules or regulations. We can expand our consciousness so that we can be the greatest of all, connected to the one, which is source.
Mhm.
And that's what I do. I come as an activator. I come aligning the energies. I come with the most incredible information about them that I would never know. And we go to the most incredible lifetimes that need to be cleared, healed, and released. And I've literally just come off a call. I run a mentorship program, and we were working on the heart. And I went back to a lifetime when my client was a snake charmer. You cannot make it up. You simply cannot make the level of information that comes out. You can't make it up. It's just the most phenomenal thing. Um, and it's incredible. Other things I can do, I'm an animal communicator. I have worked with tigers and elephants. I've worked with domestic animals. It's not something I would choose to do, but if I'm asked to do it, I will. But it's just incredible when you can talk third eye to third eye with a beautiful elephant and find out why it's traumatized, and then tell the sanctuary it's living in what they need to do to
Mhm.
make that elephant feel safe again.
Mhm.
Wow, it's just beautiful.
It is. It is. It's gorgeous. And like you, where people ask me what I do, I'm like, I sit there like a deer with headlights because I'm like, what do I do? What don't I do? How's that?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, how about going that way? It might be easier.
Honestly, sometimes I just like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
But this is the whole point. I speak light language all the time. I speak light language in my everyday life. I speak it probably more than I speak English because I'm aware that I'm either clearing land. I could be in a supermarket and I would clear down the aisle because someone has got something I need to clear and recode.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm here for. I don't have any fear of showing myself in all that I do because I am here, like Donald Trump is there to cause destruction. I'm here to make you understand that you are limitless. There is nothing you cannot do. The only thing that limits you is your own limitation. And
Hmm.
when we can get over that, when we can understand that everything is a simulation, therefore we have co created that, we can create abundance. Abundance is frequency. You know, people do all of these things about vision boards and all of this stuff to get abundance. The only way you can get abundance is to raise your baseline frequency through the heart to a place of worthiness. That will trigger a timeline of abundance, and abundance comes to you. It's not in any other way. We are frequency. Our frequency determines everything that happens to us in our world. When we understand that we raise it through the power of love, we raise it through our heart, then abundance comes to us because it's the law of attraction. And the law of attraction says you will get what you've got within your energetic field.
Very true. Very true. Now, before I forget, you're supposed to do something with the throat
Okay,
chakra.
so
Because
let me
I'm
do.
like, what was I supposed to remember?
No, that's fine. That's fine. So let me say to the listeners or the viewers, all I'm going to ask you to do is, if it resonates, again, accept, and if it doesn't, let it go. I'm going to ask you just to focus in, please, on your throat. I will make some very strange noises because I clear on the breath, and I will code very quickly. So all you need to do, please, is just take a couple of breaths. Put your root system right down into the earth, go right into your earth star, lock in to the energy of the inner earth. And then I'm just going to ask you to focus on your breath. Just do me 3 breaths in, and on the out breath, let go of anything that no longer serves you, anything that's holding you down, dragging you down, let it go. Kiadeska. Paturas, Pature Mahara, Ireskadina, Kiteska, Dornakoya. And I'm just going to come in with a light language transmission, first of all. Kiedeska, Santushe, Olokora Makara. Ine kite katakana kai tutusha amoko chunika. Iye sakuture ma anakutus. Ya patara menike sakatire. Urishkadure mahara satosha ankaye kike kunokoish. I'm very aware I'm channeling the Syrians. Every star race has a different light language, has a different frequency. That very much came on a Sirius B frequency. Chachi tekuchichiana kakai kutu kutura kaino kutu koniokoika makaka saraka mukusha iniyama kutu kirakara unuquish. I'm just going to ask the Pleiadians to come forward to just overlay Kianakai Usla Koya Maka Atakanye Sakutuchinikite Akiana Anakoso Kochunika Alaskadara Minike Kutushe Imko Makaye no Kusha Anaha Isekatena Anakiter Aya Kutushe Amokoto Kusha Inyasa Kuture Eporus. And I'm just going to come in and open up the throat center. I do it as a collective energy. You will feel it. It's going to come in. We're going to work with the blue ray. It's going to be a 17th dimensional Calcarian blue ray from the planet of Calcarius, 157-836-22212. And I'm going to ask you just to breathe for the moment. Just let me start working. There's so much congestion. Kiadeska, Danskadora, Makiada, Anakora. So I'm going to come in and clear very quickly. Isi su conchon Take a deep breath in, Kiadora Kotosa Anakara, and just exhale. Don't think about anything. Just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Kiadeska Diskadora Nakosha Anakaya. Calling in my dragons to clear all energies. Kiadora Sayama Anakoto Chikene Kai Kotora Kokoya Nakara. And I'm just going to weave. It's this most incredible white crystalline light. Kiedekatire Kutura Katasa. And I'm just going to put some energy of Atlantis into it. Kiedera Katasa Makora. Atlantis is going to bring you empowerment. I'm going to place a blue star right in the center of the weaving, and then I'm going to place it into your throat. So just very gently allow. Shh. Kie Sam Taurus 15838362217 reset 51417181 91312 reset. 275 276 275 276 275 276 reset. And I'm coding like a 3D printer, left to right, right to left. Kia deska diska doska doska daska dina kitusha anakara katasa nakora manushka mieska disa katora makaya kora. And through the center of the blue star, I'm going to connect to ancient Egypt. 157838 Thrix 22216. 158327517678 57211212. Extending, expanding, connecting to the Sphinx. 157838366212, the Great Protector. 777414 777415 777416. Activation 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 through the 7 layers of consciousness. Kiaska daska dora meniska skantire kitiska doska doska daska dis. Just extending, allowing that to drop into the throat center. I'm expanding, I'm creating an elliptical circle of light. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, connecting to 7 nodals. 17211212. I'm going to open up a small stargate system, and I'm going to open it up in the center of the star in the center of the star. Kiadora Kotosa Makiri Kitisa Kotoras 12221616151412 777212. It's a stargate system. Once we are opening up a stargate system of Neptune, as we enter into the 19th dimension, we are activating within you the crystalline grids of light. 177722167315411212, reconnecting to remembrance. 15783 Stargate Soulgate activation through Neptune. Stargate and Soulgate 144 783 783 783 3 and the 3. Coming down, creating 3 and the 3. Everlasting light 157836 22212 3 and the 3. And I'm going to ask you, please, just to hold your space, hold your light, hold your truth. Whatever emotion comes up for you now, I'm just going to ask you to let it go. I've got one hand on your heart. I've got one hand above your throat. Let all the emotion that no longer serves you, just let it go. It's like you're crying a river, let it go. Kiadora Katora. All the betrayal, all the heartache you held through timelines, through oaths, promises, and pledges. I'm going to ask you just to let yourself, let the shadow fall from the physical body. And I'm going to ask you to come home to a 12-pointed diamond white star above your crown. Bring that energy in, find yourself. You are being asked to find your soul essence. This will take place over the next 4 months. You have activated your ability to create soul essence remembrance. 1979716. Activation complete. Holding the field. Just dropping away from your throat. I'm still holding your heart. Just keep my hand pulsing in your heart. Kiedeska Santoras Katora. And I'm going to place around each and every one of you a Sartarian crystal shield of protection. Sartarius operates from a 6th dimensional perspective. I'm going to take it to the top of your crown, to the root of your soul. Sartarian light runs through all of your templates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to seal. And as I seal that in place, I'm just going to move my hand from your heart. I'm stepping back. I'm pulling my energies from your field. I call back all of my soul through all time, space, realities, and dimensions, calling back into my physical body, allowing you to be within your own field, your own field of light. And I wish you peace. I wish you wisdom. I wish you joy. I wish for you to discover the beauty within you, the power within you, and your right to exist through all time and through all space. And I will see you in the stars. And when you're ready, just bring your consciousness back to the here and now. Tap into the highest timeline that's available to you and come back into the new reality.
That was beautiful. For me, I got to ride my dragons, so I'm okay.
What more? What more could we possibly want? What more could we possibly want?
I was like, ooh, they're just driving. Good.
Glenda Dawson!
I'll just lay back, do what I need to do. And you guys are driving me good. Okay, for a change.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let them take the strain. Let them take the strain.
Exactly, exactly. So, that is wonderful. And you're right. How can you explain that except
I
you
know.
can't? You can't. It's like,
I know.
well,
It's
I
my
can't do
beautiful, crazy world.
it. But I don't know about a lot of people, but I am so blessed to actually meet others that come in for a purpose and know their purpose.
Yeah,
You may not know it right away, but they lead you to, and you got to have all that stuff. You got to have all those lessons in mediumship and all that stuff and all that, because that helps you weave it all in together so you understand, because the human mind needs to understand what it's kind of doing, at least a
like
little
the
bit.
apprenticeship. You have to do the apprenticeship.
Exactly, exactly. You have to go through your meltdowns, as I call it. You have to go through your moments of the whole world seem like it's going to kill you, and until you're able to say, wait a second. And when you said you went to the place and your own team stepped in, I'm
Yeah,
called sometimes in my human form to step into other people's timeline and meet them at the
beautiful.
Dunkin' Donuts or the restaurant or the park, or to just talk to them, just get them to
Glenda, that's beautiful.
just to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
And then that gives them enough time to think and see the other options,
Yeah.
hopefully. Because I also cannot
Why
tie myself to the outcome. I have to just provide myself.
that's beautiful. That would have come in for you, and you would have been a gatekeeper in other lifetimes as well. And you would have been you would have gone down to retrieve them and to take them home. So that's very natural for you.
Hmm.
But the way I describe it is, all of these things that give us our learning, that's the medicine. If we
Hmm.
can put it into this context, when we're going through the shitstorm, that
Hmm.
is the medicine.
Hmm.
And it's bitter, and sometimes it's hard to get down, it makes us gag. But the gift at the end of the medicine
Right.
is the gift of expansion, the gift of learning. And so
Mhm.
we have to have the medicine, because if we don't have that, we can't get to the learning.
Right. Right. Beautiful. Exactly. You really can't. You can't appreciate the sunny days unless you have the stormy days, right?
Yeah,
It,
100%.
and those that love the stormy day, you can't appreciate those unless you have the sunny days. It's just the way it is.
It
So,
is the way it is.
yeah. So tell everybody how they could contact you, even though I'm going to have all the description. The description will have all your contact information, but what's the best way you feel they could contact you if they see this program?
Contact me through my website. So my website is an open portal, so they're going to feel the energy already. It's Tina Slade Expansion. And I recommend as well that they sign up to my newsletter, because I do a letter every month and I will give an activation in it. My newsletter will go out, and in fact, it doesn't matter, because I can, if I see it come up, I can send it to them. But there will be an activation in it, and we're just about to enter into the year of the horse. That comes in the 17th of February. And the horse is going to be a really transitional year. So plug into my website. You can follow me on Instagram, Tina Slade Expansion. I'm just about to start activating my YouTube site again. I haven't really been on YouTube. I feel very disillusioned with Instagram because it's very much infiltrated. So I'm going to use that just as an advertising post. But I'm
Yeah.
really going to concentrate my energies on YouTube. It's under Tina Slade Expansion.
Mhm.
Subscribe, because what I will be doing is I'll be doing meetups. I am going to be doing interviews as well. So Glenda, you are going to be on my YouTube channel with
Thank
me.
you. I love
I'll be doing activations. But the best place to read about my story, read about my book, sorry, my work, and I've just, okay, that's my team telling me I've got 2 books to publish this year, and I'm going to do it by June, and that's my team just telling me, Tina, get some sleep.
Yes, yes. Ask them for me also, for, and my friends. Can they expand the 24-hour day?
Hmm. Well, remember, there is no time, so the only expansion you need to do is within your own mind.
Right.
That's the answer system. Just find your team Slade Expansion.
Yeah.
You can drop me a message. I can pick it up through my contact me. But yeah, they will find me. The thing is, I always know I either resonate because you're ready at that time to do that
Right.
work, or I
Yeah.
stay in the background a little bit and then you come in. Some people say to me, you popped up about 2 years ago and now I'm ready to work with you. And that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Trust your instincts, trust
Exactly.
your instincts. But my Instagram is quite fun at the moment. I post lots of things about awakening and the work I'm doing. But I
Mhm.
really want to get to YouTube because I want to be able to connect. I miss connecting. And on YouTube, I think you have a greater connection with
Yeah.
those who follow you. And that's what I
Yeah.
want. I want to be able to interact. I want to be able to share. So yeah, Tina Slade Expansion, that's who I am.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Do you know what? It's just such a blessing. It's just such a joy to be able to talk about my work, because it enables everyone to understand we are limitless. We
Mm.
are absolutely limitless. Our potential to regenerate our body, our potential to connect up and communicate with other star races, it's within us all. We just have to believe. And when we believe, we push through the limitations, the constructs, and we build a new reality for ourselves. And I
Beautiful.
want to thank my team. I always thank my team. I'd like to thank your team for the information that came through earlier for you. I'd like to thank the teams of everyone who is viewing and listening. And okay, thank you. My team are saying the one thing they want to say is trust. Trust in the unknown, lose the control, and come into absolute trust. Because when we fall into trust, that I used to be the most controlling person you could ever meet. Because, of course, when we've had dysfunctional families, the only way to survive is to control when you're an adult.
Right.
And they're saying, just trust that you will be guided. Ask for them to draw close, and you will receive what it is that you need to receive.
Perfect. Perfect. Whew. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the teams, no matter where they are, who they belong to, basically.
Who cares?
Who they're working with. I shouldn't say they belong to, because we're really just
And
helping.
thank you to our dragons. What would life be like, Glenda, without a dragon?
Oh, terrible. Terrible. Oh, my Lord.
I would just go home.
They, yes, they have helped me through high school years. They have helped me through college years. It's just, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I just, everywhere in my house, even when my kids were young, they they saw these dragons, and I would be like, and my youngest son actually played in one of those carnival things, basketball. so he could win me a dragon. I
I love
still
that.
had it. It was like so cute. I still have it. I couldn't get
Why
away.
don't we, you and I, and in fact, why don't I offer this out? You and I invite anyone in the audience and viewers who have a dragon. Let's go and play tonight.
Yeah,
Let's go